NBA All-Star Weekend has come to a close, and dare I say, we are back, fellas. NBA All-Star Weekend might be back, and I say might be because I do still think that there are a couple things that need to be fixed or changed in order to really get this weekend back to what it used to be. But overall, I'd say it was a pretty fun and a pretty productive weekend for the NBA. And I mean, yeah, let's just get into it. Starting off with Friday. Starting off with the Rising Stars game. I'm not doing that Celebrity All-Star game. That's not the NBA for real. Rising Stars game, or Rising Stars, I guess, Challenge is now it's called. I liked it. I really did like it. I think that that format for the Rising Stars game is great. I feel like the only thing is I wish the championship game wasn't 25 points and it was maybe like 30 or 40 like the other games. But I do think having, 4 teams they had really gives a good platform to showcase a lot of young players that some people might have known, some people might not have known, can put some people on the radar. You get to just see a lot more young talent as opposed to a regular rookie sophomores game where, we just getting 10 rookies and 10 sophomores. And the competition was definitely there. I mean, I'm pretty sure each game came down to the wire. We had VJ Edgecombe, 2 clutch performances. And overall, I would say Friday night was a W. On to the Saturday night festivities, starting with the 3-point contest where Damian Lillard comes out as his 3rd-time champion. Devin Booker choked it, man. I'm not going to lie. Devin Booker choked it crazy. I mean, I thought he started off, I think, 9 for 10, 10 for 10, something like that. I thought he was going to win it. But Dame Lillard comes away with the trophy nonetheless. Conker nipple in that final round. I think the rookie jitters kind of got to him. Everybody else in the competition was D. Mitch did okay. Norman Powell kind of sucked. Bobby Portis really sucked. I think Trey Murphy would have been good in this competition, but nonetheless, that final round was cinema for sure. Overall, 3-point contest, I would probably say probably about 7, 8 out of 10. Next, we have the Shooting Stars Challenge. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit confused what this was supposed to be up until pretty much they started the competition. I mean, I didn't really know what was going on, but I like the concept. I like the concept of having the 4 different teams that, they mean something, like the Duke team and the Harper family, Team Knicks, that kind of thing. I don't really see where the last team came in, but nonetheless, I think this was an exciting event and a good way to get some older guys and some legends in the spotlight once again. It was good to see Corey Maggette out there. It was good to see Richard Hamilton out there. It was good to see Allen Houston out there. His jumper still looks amazing. But I think this was a pretty good event. Coming down to the wire where Team Knicks had to hit a couple of those 7-pointers or however many points it was. I don't really know the point scoring systems, but all I know is I was on the edge of my seat a little bit and I was definitely excited to watch. And I hope that they can build off it and maybe put some better teams together next year and we can see this again. And last but not least, the slam dunk contest. And no, this is not a case of saving the best for last. Once again, the slam dunk contest proves to be the lackluster of the Saturday night event. I think at this point, we're just at a point where we've kind of seen almost everything. I mean, everybody's still latching on to the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine dunk contest. Mac McClung is in the 1% of dunkers. And I just don't think that there's anybody in the league that can replicate or even get close to what those guys have done in the slam dunk contest. And I think that's a problem on both fronts. I think there's a problem on the viewer front, and I think there's a problem on the player front, especially if these guys can't replicate these kind of dunks, at the very least, can we get some players that we're excited about? Jackson Hayes, what the fuck are you doing in this competition? Just straight up, what are you doing in this competition? Jace Richardson, he had a tough fall out there. I just didn't really see, obviously his father was in the contest, but that's about it. I think he has 6 dunks on the year, and even in his little intro highlight thing, everything was 2-hand flushes, nothing crazy. Carter Bryant, he was a bright spot in there. I think he was probably the best dunker or the best one in the competition. Obviously Keyshawn Johnson was the one who won the competition, but I truthfully don't think he should have won. And if Carter Bryant even made the second attempt or third attempt of the dunk that he was trying, and he wasn't spending 50 minutes talking to Vince Carter, I think he would have came away as a slam dunk champion. But nonetheless, something's got to change, whether we just get better dunkers in here, whether we just get, better names in here. I mean, something's got to give. Overall, this was like a 4, like a 3 or 4 out of 10, and that's being a little generous. On to the main event, All-Star Sunday. Now, I'm going to give a little precursor. I was not a fan of the format originally. I'm not one of those traditional ones like, oh, it has to be like the old days. Everything is the same as how it used to be. I'm not one of those, but I am more of a fan of the traditional All-Star game. And I wasn't really looking forward to the 4 games and 4 quarters or, whatever it was. But as this All-Star game got started and game 1 started and Wemby came out with the intensity he had, with the energy he had, and wanting to win this game and really put on a show, and you saw everybody else follow suit, you're like, okay, maybe this can be something. You start sitting up in your couch. I kind of just had it on just, for the heck of it. But I started to really lock in and you see they're obviously simple, but they're running a couple sets. They're really playing defense. They're making extra rotations. We had game winners. We had dunks. We had handles. We had 3-pointers. We had everything that an All-Star game is supposed to be. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the way that these guys competed and the way that it looked in the end product has made me a fan of this format. Now, it could use some tweaks. I've seen on Twitter, I like the idea of East versus West and the world. I do like that idea. But overall, I'm starting to lean towards this format. And if we were to go back to it next year as opposed to a traditional All-Star game, I'd be optimistic. And especially if the guys are going to compete how they competed last night, I mean, it really doesn't matter what kind of format we have. And it looks like we just going to get good All-Star games from here on out. Overall, this is probably the best All-Star weekend we've had since probably 2020. And it's the most excited that I've been to watch an All-Star game since probably like 2016, I think. Probably about 2016. But yeah, I really did enjoy this All-Star weekend. Overall, I probably give it like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I mean, seriously, it was enjoyable. It was entertaining. The commentary was good. There wasn't a bunch of skits. There wasn't a bunch of, BS between games and between the quarters on the All-Star Sunday. I mean, it was actually basketball. It was a basketball event. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for as an NBA fan. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about All-Star Weekend in the comments. This is me, your boy Corey from Between 94, and I'm out.